All right, so let's see how this goes. I just finished. I'm like really excited and hyper and eager, or whatever they call uh, my behavioral type. I'm a red, right? According to the book Surrounded by Idiots. So what I'm going to do is I just finished a book. I'm going to show you. I just finished this book here. No BS Time Management for Real Estate Entrepreneurs. This is an amazing book. I love books. I love reading books, and I love learning and growing myself. But this has been a book best book I have read in my life thus far. So, what I'm going to do is I took some notes. I took various notes. I'm going to share my notes and some recaps, but I want to do this in a way that benefits everyone, right? So, I have some colleagues and we have an accountability and a mastermind group, and I want to share. My takeaways, and I'm going to share some input and some tips to them. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to structure it in that way. So, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. I'm going to come back and then we're going to get that going. All right. So here we go. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's turn that music down a little bit, right? Down to about a 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer to and I'm going to talk to my colleagues, right? I really enjoy this book. And it makes like language a little bit earlier, surrounded by idiots. I have colleagues and we have our behaviors, right? And our personality, whatever you want to call it. I'm usually talking about behaviors, but we have our way that we act, right? So I'm red, right? I'm going to refer to myself as red. I have a colleague that's yellow. I'm going to call him yellow. I have a colleague that's blue, right? We're kind of still looking for someone that's green, but I'm going to talk in that language without kind of, you know, maybe exposing them is what I'm going to say. But so when you hear me talk about these colors, like blue, you know who I'm talking to. When I say blue, you know who you are. Yellow, you know who you are. Uh, red is me, and then the other one, right? I'm gonna call you new. I'm gonna call you new guy because you're kind of new and you are a combination of yellow and red. You are yellow, but you're kind of new. So I just want to, I want to make sure I'm able to address everybody without exposing them. All right. So here we go. That book was really good. And this journey that I'm on this marketing and this business journey is like, something that's really beneficial is like, can you empathize with other people? And I think I am doing better at empathizing with people, right? So I'm a blue, and I'm a according to that book, I'm blue and red, and blue and red they're typically right not super emotional people, right? So yellow and green they're more of the emotion and the people-y stuff. Red and blue not so much, and I'm high in red and blue, right? So I'm getting better with empathizing. I'm always trying to find a way like how can I empathize because so one of the things that I picked up on lately, and not from just this book, but lately is like psychographics. How can you empathize and like think what the other person is thinking? I'm getting pretty good at that, right? So that's like a really big thing for me. I have it here. I box it out like psychographics. Like I box it out. Like that's something that's really working and it's highly important in your marketing, right? So I'm a marketing specialist. I do marketing business, right? Now, um, one of the things, right? So this is for you, yellow. Yellow, right? I have right here. You need to yellow. You need like dates and you need deadlines. You need that stuff, and that came out of the booklet. You need that time pressure. You don't like dates. You don't like deadlines, but it's absolutely essential in business. And when I encourage dates from you, you flake. You start to get flaky a little bit, but that is something that you need, and that came from the book. Don't run away from dates when there's a time when there's a pressure. Uh, be accountable to those dates and those timelines. Time pressure is a good thing, and the book emphasizes that. So dates are highly important for you, yellow. Next, yellow for you, you have to be very careful with uh, people that are lower than you, just like me too, right? We got to be very careful about having those kind of people around. I have it here just listed out honestly. Like, be careful with trash people because they will bring you down. Even if you only spend a little bit of time with them, it's not worth it. So be very careful about trash people. And furthermore, I know everybody is not a trash person, but still be careful with people that are uh, that don't want the same things that you want either. They don't want to grow, they just want to be around, right? And they're not showing that they're serious or showing that they're committed with their behaviors and implementation, getting things done, right? Be careful with those people that are fighting harder to stay the same than they are fighting harder than for growth. All right, so that's for you, Yellow, and that's for anybody out there. Like, be very careful with that. That's a mistake that I tend to make, and I'm working on. But objectively, I'm telling Yellow, like, just be very careful with that. Um, Also, Yellow, for you, Yellow, we already went over this, but we got our speaker formula that we go through, and if you can fix your results and suggest and showcase your proof of results and what you're doing, your testimonials, etc., the right people will come, and that will contribute to you not having to keep these anchors, is what I call them. I call them trash people. I said trash people in one, but anchors. It will help you without it will help you not need to keep anchors around. You will have better quality people around when you fix your results. You fix that front end stuff, like the pretty stuff and your offer. You start to work on that stuff. I think it was 7, 8, 9 in our speaker formula. Once you fix that stuff, you will uh, you will bring better quality people around. All right. So keep that in mind for you, Yellow. Next, Yellow, this is another one for you, and this is also for Blue because you got a high yellow too. So feelings don't matter in business. The results are what matter. So, and I'm not saying they don't matter. The results are more important than the feelings, right? So it doesn't matter how we feel as individuals. It matters about the other people, how they feel. And so you can not feel good or you can not feel like doing something, but what's more important than that stuff, right? Yellows is the results, right? You might not feel like working, you might not feel like doing the business, or you might not feel like this customer might serve you, or whatever. What matters more than that is the results, right? Feelings don't matter as much as results do. You want to be great in business, results matter more than the feelings. Feelings matter in terms of, like, the keyword I gave a little bit earlier, psychographics, right? Mental and emotional. When you're thinking about your avatar, how can you empathize and feel with them? But like, we have to be mindful and be careful about interjecting our feelings into getting things done. Next, uh, this is, I think this is for all of us. I don't think this is for any particular person, but I have here, be with people that hate losing. And Yellow and New Guy, I'm not going to say that you like losing, not Yellow, Blue and New Guy. I'm not going to say that you hate losing. Yeah, I don't think you hate losing. I think you're okay with surviving, Blue and Yellow and New Guy. I think you're okay with that, and you got to be really careful with surviving. Like, I'm here, like me, Red and Yellow, like we're out to thrive, and you, New Guy and Blue Guy, your attitudes has to change. It can't just be survival, or it can, but you'll get those kind of results. So switch it over. Uh, I hate losing. I'm okay with losing. You're not going to win everything, but I absolutely hate losing. I don't want to be around anybody that likes losing or likes being mediocre or likes being average, right? So earlier I talked about, like, fighting harder to for your limitations, or I talked about fighting harder to stay the same. I will absolutely not do that. I'll do whatever it takes, and then Yellow will too. Yellow will do whatever it takes to get ahead, and Blue Guy and New Guy, you need to implement and you need to do that stuff as well. Please do whatever it takes. All right. And so next, I'm going to take a 30-second break because this cat is messing with me. Get right, I'm back. So the cat was bothering me and I didn't want to disrupt. So next we have, and this is more for red, which is I'm red. And it's okay to be thought of as a jerk and an a-hole. And I kind of always, I've really never cared. I honestly never cared. But the book, like the things I'm learning, is like it's okay. So it's okay to be thought of as an a-hole. It's suggested that you're not legitimately an a-hole or a jerk, which I'm not, right? But I've always been okay with people calling me a jerk because I'm not out to harm people. I'm not malicious. I don't have malintent. I'm going to tell you how things are, right? You might not want to hear the truth, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And if that makes me seem like a jerk or a hole, so be it. And I'm okay with that because I'm not a legitimate jerk. It's okay for people to think of you like that. They will think of you like that because you have standards, because you have demands. People will think of you as a jerk or an a-hole. They will call you mean. They will say different things about you because you're telling them the truth instead of what they want to hear. So that's for you, Red, which is me. It's okay to be like that. And then we got yellow, like you got some red too. That's okay. If people are gonna think those things, so be it. Yellow, you just have to be a little bit more careful because you got the high yellow and then the high red. So whenever you hit them with the red, they're like, oh my god. Like whereas me, I don't have that high yellow, so I'm just gonna hit them. I hit them anyway, and they expect it from me mostly. All right, so it's okay to be thought of as an a-hole or a jerk. Just don't be one legitimately. Next, yellow. This is for you. Blue guy. Not you don't really do this, but and then new guy. You don't do exactly this, but you have to be mindful and responsive. You have to be mindful of this. So what I have here is stop taking phone calls. A lot of us we flock to our phones, and it's absolutely not necessary and not essential to business. Stop taking phone calls. If somebody wants to talk to you, you can call them back, or you can schedule a call, or you can schedule a meeting. Stop taking phone calls. Just stop because it decreases your productivity. So, yellow, you got to stop taking those phone calls. I don't know if you still are, but for a long time, you just like you take phone calls, too many. That like nothing is an emergency. We don't need to respond and take phone calls immediately. So stop taking phone calls. New guy, this is for you. Like you're very reactive. As soon as something happens, you're like, oh my god. So we just had a meeting, right? And you're like she's freaking out. I gotta go. Like you can't do that. You can't be so reactive like that. And then blue guy, for you, you do this not on a phone way, but you do this. I'm with family. I gotta go see no, you don't. Like you can. It's gotta be some other way. So as an example, blue guy, you were. I remember like you had some mail, and you were like, I gotta go get my mail. Do you really have to go get the mail? No. You can get a picture of the mail. You can tell that person to forward you the mail. You can tell that person to scan and email you the mail. Like there are different things that you can do. Like you're wasting your time by being like super reactive like that. So like stop answering the phone is legit, but one of the points about answering the phone is like don't be so reactive. Be more responsive is a great tip. Next, this is for you, yellow. Both this is for you, yellow, and also blue guy. Appointments are contracts, right? That's what's said. Appointments are contracts. So if if there's a meeting time or something like that, be punctual and be responsible about that meeting time. Don't keep being late. If you are going to be late, be courteous enough to tell people that you're going to be late or what's going on, right? Keep that in mind. Appointments are contracts. Like that's an agreement that you've come up with. Keep that contract. Also, for you yellow, you used to do this fashionably late thing, which is absolute like nonsense. I'm sure you know by now. It's disrespectful. And in the book it said like that's what people do. Like people that are insecure will do that to try to act like they're better than people, right? That's what that means. So we can't do that anymore. No more fashionably late. No more showing up. Oh, time like that's maybe that works in a regular normal people world, people that don't want to do better, but in like the business world, it doesn't work that way. We can't play that game fashionably late. I want to steal the show. It's all about me. It's very selfish, and the book talked about that. So keep that in mind. Appointments or contracts, time. Keep that stuff in mind. That stuff matters. Rules of engagement. This is for red. So I've been like working with customers and prospects, and I needed to come up with like some rules of engagement. I needed to set expectations because we had a new guy come in, right? And new guy was like, we need some core values or something. There's something going on. So red, which is me, like had to come up with some rules of engagement, which I did. I generated those rules of engagement. Let me see if I can pull them up. Rules of engagement and also core values is what I came up with. So, um, yeah, so I have rules of engagement. I'm going to do a quick screen share to show red. What are you doing, red? Chrome tab. All right, so this is red. These are red has come up with some rules of engagement, and let's see. Okay, so here we go. Here's red. Red's rules of engagement. These are his rules of engagement. Red has come up, thank God. He set the expectations and come up with some rules of as well as core values. So let's go to the rules of engagement. You have an idea on what's going to happen when we're like working together, right? So this is for Red has come up with a coaching program, but this is also for our mastermind and people, right? Like in order for us to work together, you need to be a decision maker, right? Or marketing person. You need to have a business mindset, right? So we've been bringing on people that don't have appropriate business mindsets. So red is setting the expectations, right? The rules of engagement. You need to understand that marketing is essential to your business success. You can't have a successful business without marketing. Understand the importance of creating and investing in predictable systems, right? Red, you shouldn't have to keep convincing people that they need systems. These are the rules of engagement. This sets expectations. Red, you said you must have a positive but realistic perspective. So sometimes their perspective is unrealistic. And there's a buzzword that I've been using lately called toxic toxic positivity. No more toxic positivity, right? You want to have a positive attitude, but it's got to be realistic, right? You can't just think your way to prosperity. You got to move and you got to act. Then people coming in, like we're not holding your hand. We have a done for you service. And if you want stuff done for you, you pay us to do it for you. We're giving you guidance. We're not holding your hand. If you want us to hold your hand, you have to pay more. So those are rules of engagement for red. Rules of engagement. And then let's go a little bit further. Red, new guy came and he's like, look, man, it's a lot going on. You need some core values. So let's go over those core values really quickly. I have come up with those core values. So let's find them. All right. All right. And actually, let's take a 30-second break so I can find the updated document and go over those core values. So here we go. All right, so I'm still working on like those core values. I'm downloading it now, but I want to go over these, and I've come up with an acronym which you're going to see in a little bit, because this is important. If people are going to come in our circle, we need to have these core values, and they need to understand accountability. They need to understand responsibility. They need to understand these things, right? So this is it's downloading right now. But these are since we're on this screen, these are the core values that we originally come up with, and now we have even better core values. And something I want you to pay attention to is right here is action. This group is about action, right? This is not a feel good group. This is not a kumbaya, come together. How you feeling? How are you feeling group? This is a group that we are serious, and we're here to get things done. We're here to grow our businesses, right? We're here to be better individuals. We're here to go out and achieve wealth. Like that's what we're here for. We're here to um, grow as individuals. So let's close that, and I'm gonna do a screen share. And I'm going to go to the Chrome tab, and let's see, is this it? Okay, so yeah, this is it. So let's go to our core values. So there we go. I'm excited. Red, right? So thank you, new guy. Red has come up with some core values, right? Because I know you were a little bit blindsided and it was intense, but here we go. We got some core values, and if people can't handle these core values, they're not for us, right? This is how we are. This is what we're looking for. We want to grow. We want to become, we want to do whatever it takes to be better. So core values, results oriented. What does that mean? That means you understand the importance of results. This is one of our core values, right? We talk about results a lot. Results. We want results. We don't want to just feel good. We don't want to just kumbaya. We want results. So we must be result oriented. Our marketing, our tech, our reading of books, all of these things need to be result oriented. So you must be result oriented, and you must understand the importance of being result oriented. If that's not you, go find another group, right? Next, eagerness of success. Eagerness of success. I pulled this directly from the book. You want to have eagerness of success for yourself as well as others within the group, right? So you can't come in and just being selfish, or you can't come in and just want success for others. You need eagerness of success for yourself as well as others. You need both, right? That's why I'm so gung ho. Let's go. Let's go. Are you doing this? I'm so gung ho because I'm eager for your success as well as my own success, right? And I'm very vocal about your success because I know I'm working individually on my success. You can see it in my results, right? If we go back to the first core value, result oriented, you can see it in my results. Everything I'm doing, everything I'm creating, me showing up, me being featured. All right. Next, application and execution of education, right? It doesn't matter what you learn if you don't go apply it. Doesn't matter what you learn if you don't go out and execute. It's highly important that you execute, right? So these are our core values, and new guy and blue guy, we need more execution and more application from you. You got to do more. You got to do more. Even if you can't do it yourself, you got to go pay somebody to do it for you. But we need this application and execution of the education. Like what you're learning doesn't mean anything if you're not applying it and you're not executing on that education. So please uh, apply this core value, right? Application. Like application and execution of the education. Doesn't matter what you're learning if you're not applying it. Doesn't matter, right? There are people that are like don't know a lot, but and they're succeeding because they're applying it, because they're executing, right? You got blue guy and new guy. Blue guy, you're one of the smartest people I know ever, right? That's why I hold you accountable and I hold fire to you because you're like one of the smartest people I know. If on the top of my hand, you're like one of the top five smartest people that I know. But it doesn't matter how smart you are if you're not applying it, blue guy. All right, new guy, you too. I understand the job is they're doing certain things to you, but you got to push past it. That's why I was like, hey, go read this book. We suggested you read Renegade Millionaire. That's because that's because You have to have that attitude where you're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get better and not be taken advantage of by the other people, right? Yellow always says like you dominate or get dominated, and that's a nice oversimplification of it. That's a nice oversimplification. You do, right? You dominate or you get dominated. And blue guy and new guy, you are getting dominated right now. We need you to step it up, right? We need you to step it up. Next, collaboration and teamwork. I don't think we too too bad in this area when we're together, right? But individually, there's not enough collaboration and teamwork, right? So what I mean by that is we need resources and suggestions and ideas. There needs to be a gyration, right? I keep saying that, a gyration from the other members, right? So currently, red and yellow they collaborate and they teamwork a lot of stuff, right? Yellow and red they just teamworked on getting some book covers done for their products. Where was blue guy and new guy? They were nowhere around. We need that collaboration and that teamwork, right? We all got to leverage each other. Collaboration and teamwork. Like we're individuals, but we're a team too. So blue guy, new guy, we need this from you. Collaboration and teamwork, right? When you're on your like bring resources, right? The other accountability group, the other women, right? So the women names that starts with a B, I'm gonna call her Red. I'm calling her Lady Red. And the woman that start with a K, gonna call her Lady Yellow, right? Lady Yellow and Lady Red, they always come with resources, right? I don't have to warrant them. I don't have to poke and prod and get it out of them. They just come with resources. It's such a different energy. So blue guy, new guy, we need that from you. Yellow, you did a great job. Like you actually, like you're like, you know what? You should listen to these. You, you got me into the time management book. You said, look, I got a suggestion for you. These 2 chapters, listen to it. And then I listened to the 2 chapters. I was like, you know what? I gotta listen to the entire book. Like that's a great way. Like that's a great example of collaboration and teamwork, sharing resources. Hey, tell me what you think about this. This is what I'm doing. That's a great way to do it, right? But they came yellow because yellow is putting forth effort and trying to add value. Trying to add value. That's like legitimately the best book I ever read. Based off yellow suggesting, hey, read these 2 chapters. Read these 2 chapters, and it planted a seed and that grew into a tree. Next, we have tools, technology, and systems. We're gonna leverage these things, right? A lot of companies, a lot of people out there don't want to use technology, tools, and systems. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna build legitimate businesses, right? So we need these tools. We need to pay for these tools. We need to integrate these tools, and we need not be afraid to utilize these tools, right? Especially with the talent that we have. We have a lot of talent here that we can leverage and utilize these tools. So we're not going to be like those other businesses and other groups that are trying to avoid technology. We're going to integrate and use this in our businesses some way. Implementation. We got to go out and implement. Got to go out and implement. Like that's the core. That's a core. That's the core of getting a business, like running business. Go implement. Get the things done. And if you can't do it, go get somebody else to get it done for you, right? Like that's my specialty is implementation. Like we need to get some stuff done. Let's go. Let's do it like right now. Right? Let's get it done. Like we need implementation, right? We absolutely need the implementation, right? Nothing's going to happen without the implementation. O is for ownership, ownership of the self, ownership of your mistakes, ownership of what you're doing correctly, what you're doing incorrectly. Ownership, accountability, right? Accountability of yourself, accountability to the team, right? So we talked about collaboration and teamwork. Like be accountable to yourself and be accountable to the team. Show up on time, do those appropriate things. Then yeah, so ownership of self, ownership of the team, right? We're a team, right? So own the team, contribute to the team as an individual, right? Own yourself and your accountability. So ownership, accountability of the self and the team. And then bottom line, It's like, look, we can feel all we want, right? But we're trying to grow businesses, right? And we've been following a certain blueprint and a certain philosophy. And that blueprint and that philosophy is no nonsense, right? So we're not going to accept nonsense from ourselves or others, right? We need to have the no nonsense mentality. How are we going to get this done, right? What do I need to do? How can I survive, right? We're not taking nonsense. We're going to have no nonsense mentality. So, uh, blue guy, new guy, thank you. I appreciate you because this has allowed me to come up with a set of core values. This has allowed me to come up with a set of core values, and they're not finished just yet, but they're looking really good. They're looking really, really good. Okay. So those are the core values, and now let's go back to the notes. I wanted to go over this stuff in our call, but it didn't work out, which is okay. I think this video format is a little bit better anyway. Okay. So core values, rules of engagement. We talked about this one already, but a quote about this thing, and this is for you, Yellow. People, and this is also for you, new guy. People that can't be punctual can't be trusted. I agree. People that are late, I kind of never trust them. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I can do business with the person, right? Serious people aren't going to take you seriously if you're being late, right? Can you imagine if Walmart, like sometimes we open at 10 o'clock, sometimes we open at 11, and then, it depends. Like once in a while, we might do 10:25. Like very unprofessional and untrustworthy, unstable, insecure, right? We are in business now. We are running businesses. So keep that in mind. People that can't be punctual can't be trusted. And I agree 100%. And again, fashionably late is just a cop out, and it's a way to be irresponsible. It's just plain irresponsible. And as for you, Yellow, you've been doing much better with that, but I got to emphasize that. Blue guy and new guy. Leveraging time, money, and resources, right? So OPM, OPR, blue guy, new guy, you're not, we need you to step up in that regard. Yellow has been doing excellent. Yellow and red, we leverage each other. Like, hey, bro, I need you. Oh, I need you for this. I need you for that, right? Blue guy, new guy, this is part of the reason why you're not getting results too. You're not leveraging your time, money, and resources, right? I just talked about that project. We went over the book project. Blue guy, new guy, you should be part of that, right? You should have your book covers done and mocked up. Pay the money, right? It's 150 per cover. Let's pay it, right? Let's pay it. Let's get it done. And let's get it done professionally. Next. Yeah, so just make sure, so we know OPM, and that's inside the book. We know OPM, but OPR. OPR too. So leverage other people's resources as well. And you have it's still open, like probably for another few days. I could probably open it up, and that means you don't have to pay the 150. It could be 100 if you get in on it. So come in and get on it, like utilize the resource. Yellow, Yellow went and he got his. He got all his done, and now he's got like a great product, right? So the opportunity is still there. It's not going to be there forever, right? Be better with that, right? Deadlines, like do better. Next, Yellow, I already talked about this, but timelines are important. So Yellow, you got to stop floundering when we ask you for timelines and deadlines. Like that's important to business. Uh, this is for all of us, and I just want to say, like, I'm not pointing and trying to act like I'm better than any of you by any means. That's not what I'm doing here. But I have, like, I've been doing some of it a little bit longer, so I don't have as many issues. I still got my issues, but I don't have as many of these like common issues. So the next issue is hanging with the wrong people. Hanging with the wrong people is toxic. So uh this is mainly for, this would probably be more for a new guy, because you have a situation where you have some older friends, and even you got to be mindful, of hanging with the wrong people. Blue guy, you too. And I know it's a little bit harder with family, but the principle still applies. Hanging with the wrong people is toxic. And then yellow, you've done much better. You've done much better with hanging with the wrong people, but one of the things you do is you try to drag people, and you have to be mindful and you have to be wary of that. So you've been dragging blue for a very long time, and I just want you to know that you have to be very careful with that, right? If blue doesn't do what blue is supposed to do, you got to start distancing blue a lot more, right? And I know what you said, like blue is going to be here to help with certain things, but if we get some of our, if we start working on and get your products, your offer, that 789 thing, if we start to get that fixed and resolved, you won't need blue anymore. So blue, this is a warning. Blue, you got to step it up a little bit, blue, because yellow won't need you anymore once yellow gets yellow's house in order. And I'm pretty sure that yellow is willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. And if that's like leaving blue, it's leaving blue. Uh, this is for you as well, yellow. This is for all of us, but mostly yellow. You were having a struggle with this. It doesn't matter how good someone's intent is. It doesn't matter how good their intent is. What matters more is the result, right? So you can have the greatest person in the world, and I sent you the video before by Jim Rohn. He's like, what if a stranger put sugar in your coffee, right? An enemy put sugar in your coffee. Well, nothing will happen. You got some sweet coffee, right? But what if a friend or a family member, somebody you love, put poison in your coffee? Well, you drink the coffee, you die, right? So the point is to emphasize it doesn't matter how good their intent. It matters the results, right? So, which you understand, you've been doing a lot better, but I still want to, I just got to bring that up. And it's also a good lesson for the rest of us as well, right? People's intent don't matter more than their results. You got to pay attention to results. So people will tell you they care about you. They will tell you that they're working on certain things. And the only way we can gauge these things is by the results, right? So, as an example, yeah, I'm working on what, okay, show me the results. Show it. If they can't show it, right? Their intent is good. They got a good heart, nice person, nice guy, but the result is what matters. Result is what we can measure. Next point, I have too nice. That was you, yellow. Like it was a too nice situation. Like you were too nice, but I think that was before the mask. Rah! I think that was before the mask. So you understand what I mean by like being too nice. You don't have to be too nice. Like you're still tapping into or realizing who you are. Like the only thing, the best way I can say for you, yellow, is like just be natural. Like when you're your natural self, you're fine, right? You don't have to be too nice and you don't have to adjust too much. Just be your natural self, and yeah, you won't seem, because the too nice thing, it seems like flaky, right? It seems very flaky. So if you just be your regular normal self, you'll be fine. And yeah, so yellow, you had a, like you're 789 on the, let me see if I can pull it up. Yellow, you're 789 on the speaker formula. You need to work on that. We need to make that a priority. Okay, so here we go. Yellow, you're, we talked about this on our call, but yellow, you're 789. This is where we need to work. You got everything else down, but we need your social proof. We need your showcase and emphasize benefits, and we need your offer, which we worked on. We really attacked your offer uh, this past week. We really knocked your offer out. Now you gotta like really you still need some revision, but we gotta work on your 7 and your 8. So you need that social proof, and this blue guy and new guy. Like this is where you gotta step up because yellow needs you. I also need you, but thankfully I have other resources, right? But yellow needs you to step up for that social proof. He needs you to do that, and you need to contribute that to him because he's contributing other things to you. All right. So, yeah, yellow. And the reason why I bring that up is because once you do this stuff, you can prove your results and you can start to get more success. Right. And then yellow, this is a thing. This is this probably, I don't know, should entitlement. I'm not going to go over that one. Next is, right, if you are good at excuses, you're not good at money. If you're good at excuses, you're not good at making money. Is a quote that really jumped out, right? So this is and oh my God, Jerome is a jerk. He won't hear. He won't empathize. Like I don't want to hear anything. I want the results, right? And that's why I have the success that I have because I care about the results. If you're good at excuses, you're not good at making money. So what's happening, right? Blue guy, new guy. We got to step it up. Like we can't keep coming with excuses. We gotta come with some results, right? You want to make more money, right? There's no we can't keep trying to survive. We gotta thrive. Yellow, blue guy, new guy. We gotta survive. That's what we need to do. We need to work on not survive. We need to work on thriving instead of surviving, right? So if you're good at excuses, you're not good at making money. You can't have one. You can't be good at both. You gotta be good at one. Pick one. Is it excuses or is it money? Right? You want to make more money and do this stuff and get ahead? Got to stop with the excuses. Next, too busy, right? Being too busy. So blue guy, also new guy, blue guy, new guy. More specifically, like new guy, I know you're busy at work, kind of, right? Like we know what your schedule and what your agenda is, and like amongst us, three of us have jobs. I understand jobs can take a lot of it can take a lot of our time. I do understand that, but nobody cares. Like we still need to execute and we still need the result. Right? So, blue guy, you're always busy. Busy doing what? Busy doing what? Like we need more results and more activity. You that busy, right? As an example, uh, I got 3 businesses, I got 4 kids, I got a girlfriend, right? And I get busy too, but I still make time to show results. So blue guy, new guy too. Like we need results. Y'all are busy, but busy doing what? Like what are you busy doing? You busy? Is you so busy? Can you show us more results? Because you can't be that busy. And I think I can not that busy. Just you got to do better with your time and your calendar. Right? That's all it is. Like none of us, like we all have the same amount of time. It's just a matter of priorities, which is the book talked about it too. Like you can't really manage time. You can manage people. You can manage your results. So you're always busy. You don't have time to mastermind or participate in the gyration of the chat. Like, what are you doing? Because you're not getting results. And to pay attention, right? Something to pay attention to is like, oh my God, they always chatting up the thing, but look at our results too, right? We're moving and we have a lot of results because we're always chatting up and talking up in the chat, right? So, blue guy, new guy, you too busy? Too busy doing what? What are you doing? Like, what results? What things do you have to show for that, right? Next, negative people. I already talked about it a little bit earlier. Negative people and anchors. So yellow, you know who your anchors are. Red, your anchors, right? So red red has an anchor, which yellow told me. Yellow's like, look, you gotta let that anchor go. right? Which I have. I haven't even been responding to the guy anymore, right? The old mentor is who it is. The old mentor. I don't even respond to him anymore. And and it was only like a little bit here and there, right? But the book reemphasized, like, you don't need to respond or deal with those people at all because their energy gets on you. Their energy gets on you. And I'm like, you know what? That's even more confirmation. I stopped it a little bit before, right? I'm red stopped a little bit before, but the book confirmed it for red. So red cut that guy off. Yellow, you had that energy, like the anchor and the negative energy with the parents. You had that energy with the parents and thankfully you stopped. Now you still like that energy is still, it's a little bit tricky because you have to go into the office, but those people, that's the energy now, is those people, and they're not necessarily negative or toxic, but they are anchors, like they're holding you down. uh New guy, I know you're new, and I'm being objective, this is not an attack, but that energy is coming from the person, that the girl, it's coming from the lady, the woman. There's an anchor, and that energy from that person and the situation from that person is going to hold you back. So you either have to, uh, cutting the person can be extreme, I'm not suggesting that, but you got to really get a control and a grip on that. You got to really get a control and a grip on that. And an example was during our accountability call, right? An example was during our accountability mastermind. She's freaking out. She's freaking out. Okay, get it under control. Like, I'm busy. I gotta do this. This is for my future. This is for our future. So let me handle this, and then I'll come deal with you. That's for you, new guy. Blue guy, your anchors are your anchors are those friends that you used to hang with, which I don't think you do anymore. But now your new anchors are your family, and they're not around a lot, but you gotta be careful with them. That family, right? The siblings and the mother and the father. You gotta be very careful with that. Next, show up on time, and show up ready to work. Right? That came from the book. Show up, right? So that's a third of the battle, right? Show up on time. That takes us up to 66%. Then show up ready to work. Show up ready to work. This is the part that we're missing out, especially blue guy, new guy. Like, we got to get some work done. Like, and not any old work, not tedious work. We got to do the work that's necessary. Is the issue. So I know you're working, right? But are you working on the right things? So show up on time, and show up ready to work. It's highly important. Make sure you show up ready to work. Next, they talk about thick skin. Thick skin folks. Work with people that have thick skin. We have been around, with the exception of new guy, right? We've been around each other long enough to understand that I'm not here attacking. None of us are attacking each other, right? So any feedback, any criticism is not an attack, right? So let's thicken our skins and be willing to accept feedback and criticism, right? It's the only way that we're going to grow. So it says hire and work with thick skinned folks. Let's thicken our skins and be open to feedback from each other, right? Nobody is attacking. Nobody is trying to make anybody feel bad by any means at all. It's never anybody's intent in here. We're just trying to help each other grow. So let's have thick skin. And then I was like listening to it a little bit earlier, right? So I got a couple more quotes. The world only moves when you act, right? So this is blue guy and new guy again. Like, you got to act, you got to do something. We need you to do stuff, right? And that's when opportunity opens up for you. When you start to do stuff, when you do stuff, when you act, opportunities present themselves. Okay. So we need you to act, and not just act on anything, right? We need you to act on the right things, right? You want opportunities to start opening up for you? Act on the right things. And I talked about this. So I'm going to go to the next point. I talked about this during the core values, but execution. Blue guy, new guy, we need execution from you. Next, which I kind of talked about, then it just jumped out, right? Because we talked about it a little bit earlier on our mastermind. We don't get paid for good enough, or not. No, let me X that. We don't get paid for effort. We get paid for done, right? So that's the intent. Yeah, I'm working hard. Yeah, I'm working at it. I intend to finish the project. I intend to. You can intend all you want, and you can try all you want, but that's not good enough, right? We need to do what it takes. We need to do what's necessary. So we don't get paid for effort. We get paid for done. We get paid for results in the real world, right? That's what it said in the book. They talk about it in the book. It's nice to get acknowledgement for your effort, but this is not that kind of group. Congratulations for doing what you're supposed to do. Congratulations for trying. But anybody can try. That's easy. We're here to get stuff done. So we don't get paid for effort. We only get paid for done in the real world. And then this was for uh this was for blue guy, because blue guy, you try to do too much by yourself. Sometimes you have to delegate or stagnate, right? You're stagnating because you're not delegating enough. As an example, your book cover, it should be done, and it's not because you didn't delegate, right? So you're stagnant right now. Another example is your bio. You try to do your bio, and your bio's not done because you didn't delegate or you didn't come to the mastermind, right? So that's all of the points that I have written. And speaking of that last one where I talked about blue, I'm like delegate or stagnate. Uh, you have to, blue guy and new guy, you really need to tap into the resources, and the resources includes uh, masterminding and talking to people too, talking to us. Like we're going through the processes and we're doing some of the stuff. You gotta do it. You gotta figure it out. You gotta make the time. Like, oh, it's my job. I mean, is your job ain't gonna get you financial freedom or whatever you want to do. So you gotta do whatever it takes to make it work. New guy, new guy. But that's my recap of the time management for real estate entrepreneurs. That's my recap. This was an excellent book. This book changed my life. Really grateful for this book. Thank you, Yellow, for making that suggestion. And I'm pretty sure that's the one that I'm going to get signed, because and then I'm going to constantly try to apply to my business and my life. With that, I appreciate you watching, and I will be signing off.